or friends. But when you build some good friendships in business, then it can make all the difference as we're growing. So who do we serve? We serve nice people in business.
Could you discuss the key issues in your industry?
Everybody that runs a business is very busy. And in an ideal world, we just want clients. How do we get clients? When we first start a business or we're growing a business, we don't think, right, how am I going to generate lots of leads? It's just, how do I get clients? And it can feel very frustrating until we work out that none of us really start a business to be salespeople. And yet, in order to be successful, we need to become good salespeople. In order to be good at sales, then we need prospects or leads.
You do whatever you are good at and let other people do whatever they are good at. And when you combine them together, you make it stronger. Hello everyone, thank you for joining today's Innovative Circle podcast. I am your host, Dr. Shah Siddiqui, CEO of Time Research and Innovation, GenZ Marketing Agency and Edward AI. ICPcast is an initiative to bring innovative ideas, transformative strategies, and forward-thinking insight from various industries, where it is in technology, artificial intelligence, marketing, finance, lead generation and sales, business advisory and development, tax and accounting, or sustainability. We bring you insight from some of the brightest minds, C-level executives, and industry leaders who are shaping the future. In today's episode, we are thrilled to welcome Jamie Stewart, CEO, Circle Networks. It is a relationship-first platform helping entrepreneurs grow their business through authentic connections and referrals. With a background in sales, coaching, and community building, Jamie helps professionals escape outdated, pitch-heavy networking, instead thriving in trusted peer circles. Circle Network supports coaches, consultants, and service-based businesses to grow constantly without cold outreach or awkward sales tactics. Jamie's philosophy is simple: scale smarter, not harder, by building a network rooted in generosity and shared purpose. So our discussion topic today is why traditional networking is broken and how Jamie Stewart fixes it. So to all our viewers, get ready for practical insight and strategies and our discussion. So we are just Hello, Jamie. How are you today?
I'm very well, thank you. How are you?
So thank you for joining today's discussion. As you know, that we have a set of questions and we wanted to dive into how you are supporting communities. As a part of Circle Network, I understand and I have experienced all the things, good things about Circle Networks. And I wanted to express this and as well as share this experience to my target audience. So again, thank you for your contribution today. I just wanted to ask you the first questions for the audience, that could you provide a brief overview of your business and share what inspired you to enter to this field?
Okay, I think I'm like most people that start a business. I was frustrated with something that I had and I thought there's a better way to do it. So I've been involved in dealing with people all through my career and built various networks. And it's only when you look back that you start to join the dots. Every job that I've had, I've got to know the right people, not just the people that I sat with, but in other departments and in other locations and key partners and suppliers. And I've been very good at knowing all the right people. And then when I started my own business back in 2013, all I wanted was clients. I didn't want to go networking. I just wanted clients. But in order to find clients, to meet new people, one of the ways for me to do it back then, because social media was in its infancy, was to start going networking. So reluctantly, I started going networking. Fast forward a few years, I was part of a network and it was all about in-person networking. And then in 2020, when COVID hit, everybody went online for their networking. And at the time, my business was coaching people on how to build a network. And I found it very frustrating online networking in early 2020 when everybody just crammed what they did in person into a big Zoom room. So for most people, their experience of online networking was 20 or 30 or 40 people on an event on mute, waiting for their turn to unmute themselves to do their 60-second pitch. And it was very boring. There was no real interaction and everyone was just there waiting to pitch. And I thought there's a better way to do this. The beauty of Zoom that we use is breakout rooms. So it's very easy to put people into a breakout room in smaller groups so that they can have conversations. And I think that's the real difference in what I started, that it was about helping people build relationships. And you mentioned that it's relationship-based networking. Nobody wakes up in the morning and thinks, whose customer can I be today? I'm going networking. Whose customer can I be? And yet everybody, it feels like, goes networking to sell, but nobody goes networking to be a customer or to buy anything. So traditional networking, I think, is broken. What people hear is, you need new clients, go networking. What the underlying message with that is, go and pitch at everybody that's there. And it's frustrating to be on the receiving end. So I had an idea to start. One group was all I was going to start. One group, and I just wanted to help people have conversations. And it's grown now to nearly 50 groups that run fortnightly. So we're about 100 events a month now across the UK, Sweden, Dubai, South Africa, Spain, and just speaking to somebody about launching in America as well. So it's had phenomenal success over the last 5 years.
It's great, I would say, the way the networking works in Circle Network. As you described earlier, I was part of different network groups. Went there, quite a bit of time I spent there. But at the end, what I found that everyone there to sell, no one there to make you real friends. Another thing I spotted, they have a cocoon. So few people together, they don't want to get you entered there. Okay? And they're going to be having, chick chat, and a lot of other things. And at the end, I end up with like a black swan. Like, okay, I'm a different person. But with Circle Network, still, I'm enjoying. I don't know what will happen in the future because you cannot predict the future. But the way I have understand, a lot of people do, because when I join Circle Network, maybe a couple of times in a week, I just want to go over there to talk to them, not to sell anything, not to buy anything, because I'm a busy person all the time with work. So I need a headroom for me to get some soothing time. Listen to people, get my idea steer to the next levels, because the more I listen, more I generate. And that's this network should be. So thank you very much for this thinking. And I totally give credits to, Christian Boyna, because he said, Shah, do you want to join? What I said, sorry, Christian, I think network is not for me, because I cannot bear people's chit chat and all of the things, because it's not contradictory. It's just thing that I don't like. But joining Circle Networks, I can talk to people now, not asking them to give me anything, but it's just like knowing them, thinking about them. So thank you very much for your nice and brilliant idea. So my next questions, who are the clients you aim to help, and what benefits do you deliver to them?
Okay, so I wanted to be, when I first started, I wanted to be a little bit different. And I guess I was fixing the problem that I had. I didn't always want referrals or clients because our business ebbs and flows generally. There are times when we're busy and times when we're quiet. But in order to grow a business, I think entrepreneurs need different things. So at one point, people usually come to us because they're looking for new clients. And then at the point they're starting to onboard clients and they're getting busy, they need other things. So they might need a bookkeeper to take care of the bookkeeping. They might need a virtual assistant to take some of their admin tasks away. They might at some point want to rebrand, or like for me, I've just got a photocopier. So somebody that can supply me with a photocopier. I've just had someone build me a new software platform. There are different things. And as we go through our business journey, we need different things. And I wanted to provide a community that helped business owners on that journey. So that's what makes us a little bit different. Who are we for? One of the things that makes us different at our events is the way that we start our introductions. So some people are quite happy to go to events to pitch. All they want to do is pitch, turn up, pitch, turn up, pitch. They're not our ideal kind of people. We're looking for people. So we start our networking events in small breakout rooms, so there's never any more than 4 people in a room, by asking people to introduce themselves by, what do you do when you're not working? Help me get to know you, because people buy from people. They don't buy from job titles or company names. And yet at most networking events, people turn up and introduce themselves by name, job title, company name. And in our heads, we pigeonhole people. So if I meet somebody who's an accountant and they go, hi, I'm Jamie, I'm an accountant. In your head, you'll go, I already know an accountant. I don't need another one. And you switch off a little bit. When we get to know people first, so for example, for me, I'm not an accountant, but if we get to know people first and I say, I'm Jamie, I'm a dad, I've got 3 kids, I have a dog. When I'm not working, I like to be out walking the dog. I used to be a scuba diver. I like barbecues. I like travel. I like gin. And I drink a lot of Yorkshire tea. From that, people can find out if I'm their kind of person or not. And the or not part is fine. But we're about building relationships. And I think when we first start our businesses, we just want clients. Nobody starts a business thinking I need more friends. But when you build some good friendships in business, then it can make all the difference as we're growing. So who do we serve? We serve nice people in business. So if you're listening to this or watching this and think about the people that you know that run their own business that you like to be around, they're our kind of people. So people who are people that like to help others and that have we call it a go-giver attitude or a pay it forward philosophy. So they're happy to help others. And when we start doing that for other people, they start doing it back for us. They're the kind of people that we serve.
Thank you very much. It's a nice and excellent add-on, I would say, because, when people go to networking events everywhere, I found it very time-consuming and as well as not interesting that much because they don't value individual people within their networks. I've been to many networks. I don't want to mention them. So in one network, I went there. Yes, I have expertise and I also can be present my things to there. But what I have seen that they don't value inner people to present themselves rather than bring people from outside to present them.
Yeah.
And that way I said, okay, you are bringing people that have expertise within your network. You're not picking them to present your things. You are picking someone else, maybe a competitors or something else to pitch instead of you. And I felt, okay, they're not valuing me because I think I can do better than the person they have brought. So that's the way. But with Circle Network, I can say, yes, I can be a presenter. I can talk to them. I can say what I want to, okay, in relation with my work, in relation with my extracurricular activities, all what I do like most. Thank you, Jamie. My next question, could you discuss the key issues in your industry and explain how your efforts are making a difference for your clients and collaborators?
So I think everybody that runs a business is very busy. We're very busy. And in an ideal world, we just want clients. How do we get clients? When we first start a business or we're growing a business, we don't think, right, how am I going to generate lots of leads? It's just how do I get clients? And it can feel very frustrating until we work out that none of us really start a business to be salespeople. And yet, in order to be successful, we need to become good salespeople. In order to be good at sales, then we need prospects or leads. And I think in our modern society, we have a desire for instant results, instant gratification, the Amazon effect. I want to click on it and have it delivered not within a month. I mean, if you think about the old days of mail order, you would be delivered within 28 days. Nobody would buy anything now like that unless it was being manufactured. We want it within hours. And I think there's a lot of people promote solutions like that are the next magic pill. And it doesn't exist. I've yet to meet somebody that gets hundreds or thousands of leads that automatically turn into clients. What we help people to do is to have conversations with good people. And if you and I both serve a similar client, and I get to meet you and build a relationship with you, then ultimately the goal is that we become referral partners. So from that, I mean that if you and I both have the same ideal client, that when you're speaking to the people that you know, so I'm not asking you to go out of your way in any way. So when you just deal with the people that you deal with on a weekly basis, you bring me up in conversation. You know me well enough. You know how I work and what I charge. And you might say to somebody, are you looking, what's the biggest challenge you've got in your business right now? Or how is growing in your business? And if they're struggling, you might bring me up in conversation and say, I know Jamie and he runs a great network and it might be able to help you, and explain what I charge and how it works. And then, because you're recommending it in the same way that we recommend a restaurant or a movie, we can be very enthusiastic about that. And Christian said to you, you just need to join this network. I think it's the right thing for you. And based on the strength of your relationship with Christian, you came along, got involved in Circle Networks. You knew what it was. You knew what it cost. why would you not get involved in that? So when people know us well enough, we recommend holidays and cars and restaurants and movies all the time, and it has no benefit for us. If we do it for our friends in business, then they will do it back for us. The beauty of that is it can save you so much time. And I worked with somebody, so I coach people on how to build a network, and I call it building a referral engine. So I run a training course on that. And I had someone come and sit this course, and they just spent, I think it was about £5,000 on Facebook adverts. And they generated, for round numbers, about 40 leads for them. 2 people in the business spent a whole week each following up and meeting with every person who'd responded to the advert. And at the end of the week, one person signed up for their training course and spent £1,500. So they lost £3,500 on that, and 2 whole working weeks from 2 people. Over the next few months, they built a team of people who dealt with similar clients that referred them, and they got, by referral, nearly £50,000 worth of business and had almost 100% conversion rate, because when I'm recommending what they do, I'm doing the sales and the filtering and the qualifying for them. So they get highly qualified leads who are the right kind of people that know what they charge. And it's just a case of turning up and seeing if you're happy with the person that you're going to be dealing with. That's the solution that we offer for people. And I think at the start where we talked about turning up to a networking event to pitch, nobody goes to buy anything. So if you can go networking and meet a handful of people that could be referral partners and build a good relationship with them, the lead generation part of it will take care of itself, as long as we are prepared to do that for other people as well. And it's a skill and a process and a strategy to learn.
I totally agree with you, because, sometimes we wanted to cut the process down, okay? And that's a terrible mistake, because, you do whatever you are good at and let other people do whatever they are good at. And when you combine them together, you make it stronger. And something that I also come across when I was in other networking events, like you have similar businesses and you become enemy, okay? And I think I hate that, because, individually, I'm a person with distinct characteristics, okay? I can't be you. So you might have something that is different than me. So why don't we communicate together, engage together, marry up things, and then serve clients with distinct good and greater things. So most of the time when I work with people, I said, okay, it doesn't matter that you and I are doing the same business, but look at you. You are different than I. So why don't you support me and I support you and grow together? Because people usually don't think that the world is very big and the client base is huge. So even if you consider to cover a tiny fraction of it, you don't have any room to serve. So thank you, Jamie. I wanted to jump to my next question. What makes your approach unique in helping clients achieving the outcomes you have just mentioned?
I think it's the collaborative nature, collaboration over competition. You're right. A lot of networks will only allow one person in that does a certain thing. So if I take the accountant example, they might only allow one accountant to come along. And I think that people deal with people. So we don't stop anybody coming along. We have a collaborative approach. And I might be an accountant that specializes in dealing with new startup businesses. You might be an accountant that deals with large PLCs. We've got completely different kinds of clients. You're a young accountant and I'm an old accountant, and somebody wants to deal with someone that's like them. And if people want to deal with a young person, they're going to come and deal with you. And if they want to deal with someone who's in their 50s, they'll come and deal with me. So I think there's an opportunity for lots of people to work together and pass introductions to each other. So if I deal with PLCs and I meet somebody who's just starting their business, I can introduce them to you. So I think that's one of the things that sets us apart, that we are collaboration over competition. And when people come together to collaborate on things, we might not be in the same business, but we might serve the same client, that you can come up with new services and new offers that, and I'll give you an example of this. I was running a networking event a couple of months ago. This was in person, sat on a table with a photographer and a videographer. We all collaborated on an event where people came to network, but one at a time, one person goes off and has some pictures taken with the photographer, whilst somebody else is having some video content filmed with the videographer. And Gareth Williams and Nikki Cameron were the 2 people. And Gareth is very creative. He came up with the name content-ing. So, and create content whilst they're networking. And it's taken off and it's grown really well. And that's an idea of something different that was born out of just bringing people together for good conversations. And there's loads of examples of things like that where people have started to work together virtually as well as in person. Mm-hmm. I think that's what makes us a little bit different.
I agree with you because, it's not like you have a business and you wanted to steer your business to the next levels. If you do not have right people, you cannot do it because maybe I have one idea. I can transform my idea to the next levels if I have right partners and right friends to get more coverage, to get more things done. So thank you. Thank you, everyone, for joining today's Innovator Cycle podcast. I'm Dr. Shah Siddiqui, and I have Jamie Stewart. So we're going to be diving deep into more questions. So my next question to you, are partnerships part of your business model? And from your partners' perspectives, what benefits make you an ideal collaborator?
I like to collaborate with people. And so I've just come back from Dubai and met with a good friend of mine who I've known for almost a year now. And he has an AI business, and we've been talking about how we can collaborate together. His kind of clients are my kind of clients, and my clients are his kind of clients. Neither of us want to make money off the other. We just want to work together to find out how we can fix problems for people. And I think when you find the right kind of people, the money part takes care of itself. I think sometimes business can feel too cutthroat and too mercenary. What's in it for me all the time? And my approach is, how can I help you? And usually by doing that, you'll feel like you want to do it back and reciprocate. So reciprocity is a big thing in my world. And for example, I work in partnership with a friend of mine called Elliot Kay, and he's a speaker coach and runs the Speaker Awards. He judges for our awards, and I'm a judge for his awards. And that's how our partnership runs. If he meets people that are interested in networking, then he recommends them to Circle Networks. If I meet people that are interested in becoming a better speaker, or they're already a speaker and they're looking for a bigger stage, then we make those introductions. There's no financial recompense in that. It's just how can we help each other with our businesses. So I guess it's a variation of collaboration is generally how I work with people.
Thank you, Jamie. Thank you, everyone, for joining today's Innovator Cycle podcast. I am Dr. Shah Siddiqui, and I have Jamie Stewart, CEO of Circle Network. For now, we are taking a brief break before diving into some fantastic insights. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Great conversations start with thought-provoking ideas, and visionary leaders turn them into reality. Meet Dr. Shah Siddiqui, an entrepreneur, AI strategist, and business growth partner dedicated to helping professionals and companies push boundaries, innovate, and thrive to drive transformation.
Did you know that 92% of executives consider digital transformation and AI adaptation are essential for staying competitive in today's market? Furthermore, companies that use data-driven insights for decision-making also see a 23% boost in profitability compared to those that don't. Through ICPcast, we bring together the brightest minds in AI, business, finance, marketing, and other tentative fields to deliver strategies that drive measurable success.
Dr. Shah is the founder and C-level executive and leads multiple startups, including GenZ marketing agency, Neurodivergent Business Consortium, NBC, Time Research and Innovation, TRI, and Green Threads DPP. He is AI and technology expert and helps businesses harness AI for scalability and efficiency. He is a sales and business growth strategist and the creator of the Sales Funnel Accelerator, SFA program, to guide C-suite executives to maximize conversions and revenue.
You might be surprised to learn innovation isn't just about your ideas. It's about execution. In fact, only 10% of companies successfully turn their innovative ideas into scalable strategies, while the rest struggle with execution. Businesses that focus on effective implementation rather than just ideation 3 times more likely to outperform their competitors. After working with industry leaders and disruptors, I have learned one thing. Success isn't just about what you know, it's about how you apply it. That's why I created Sales Funnel Accelerator and ICPcast to provide actionable insights that you can apply right way to drive business growth and innovation.
Podcasting is now one of the most powerful tools for business influence, with 80% of listeners taking action after hearing expert insights. And when it comes to driving sales, 78% of social sellers outperform peers who don't use social media for business networking.
Are you ready to be the part of the conversation that is shaping the future of business? Let's explore innovation, strategy, and leadership together. Book your cast with me today. Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining today's Innovative Circle podcast. And I'm Dr. Shah Siddiqui, and I have Jamie Stewart, CEO Circle Network. We got some exciting insight coming up. So stay with us, and we will dive deeper into the world of networking, technology, innovation. So let's get started. So thank you, Jamie, for your contribution today. So we're going to be jumping into our next segment of the discussion. Could you please share your insight of upcoming industry trend and how you are adapting to remain ahead?
I think we live in a very busy world. So with all the technology that exists in the world, we are more distracted than ever before. So if you imagine the days before smartphones, we didn't know very many people. Our life was much simpler. On average, I remember the early days of social media where people would talk about, we would have 250 to 300 people in our network. We knew them in our heads. You know, largely they were the people that we worked with, possibly some clients, our friends and family, people that lived nearby us, and the people that we went to school with. We could recall most of those people. And I think the last few years, we've seen this explosion of social media. We haven't even got to AI yet. But then the explosion in social media where we are connected to thousands of people. And it's hard to be memorable in that world. So I think one of the things that we need to do is to build our personal brands in order to stand out and be memorable. That's something that you didn't have to do years ago. So I think having a process and a strategy to build that personal brand, it can feel, I remember the first time I went for professional photos, it felt like, who am I to have a photographer taking pictures of me that I'm going to post on my social media about me and have my face on my website? That's what we have to do now in order to stand out, because this is the logo of Jamie Stewart. There are much better pictures of me when I'm younger and slimmer and better looking. But this is how I look today. So we need to stay up to date and current. And I've met people where I meet them in real life and they look nothing like their online pictures because they're out of date. So we have to build a personal brand, and you can leverage technology to do that. And I think social media is a brilliant platform for that. My preferred platform is LinkedIn. Very active on LinkedIn. I really enjoy it. It's not a promotional platform. It's a social network. And I think people forget the social part of social networking. We don't sign up to a platform just to see everybody's pitch. It's the virtual equivalent of networking, isn't it? So I think being social on social media is key. And I encourage people, even if you don't post on social media, leverage technology to build relationships. So I could be your best advocate. I could comment on all your posts. I could tag people on there. I could reshare your posts and start conversations with it. If we just started doing that with a handful of people, it would make a big impact for the people in our world. So that's one way. I think in the world of networking, we need to think about having a toolkit for people. So you're an expert in your business. I'm an expert in mine. I can't expect you to know everything that I know about my business. So if I can equip you with a toolkit in order to open doors for me and help me and send people my way, then why wouldn't I do that? So I think as a result of COVID, we're all familiar with Calendly and meeting booking links. Calendly's become the phrase like Hoover, hasn't it? So if I use Calendly, I don't use Calendly, I've got a different platform, but send me your meeting booking link. Now, if you're speaking to somebody and their interest, you identify that they've got a problem I might be able to fix, it would make more sense if I'd already given you my meeting booking link so that when you're speaking to them, you just book a meeting straight away in my diary. Most people do is, let me introduce you to Jamie. I'll send an email introduction. Did you wake up this morning thinking, I wish I had more emails? We don't, do we? We don't want more emails. What we would like is meetings with people. So why don't we set meetings? So if I make it easy for you to set meetings, I might also equip you with some testimonials or even a video from me. Because if I record a video explaining what I do and how I fix problems and I give it to you, then you don't need to worry about what to say. You can just go, watch this. Jamie explains what he does here. And the beauty of that is, if they hear it from me, in my words and my voice, and see me, they will like me or not like me. If they like me, they'll want to have a meeting with me. And if they don't, it saves us both some time. So I think we can leverage technology in a few different ways, and that WhatsApp is brilliant. If you've got some pictures or some videos, some links, and I give those to you, it's really easy for me to do. It's really easy for you then to be able to share that with other people. And I think that's the easiest tip I can give people. Think about creating a toolkit that you can equip other people to help open doors and get you meetings. None of us want emails. What we want is people to get us meetings with people. And if I speak to somebody after this, Dr. Shah, and I think that they're a good fit for you, I'm not going to send an email. You've given me some of your stuff. I'll try my best to get you a meeting with them. I'm not going to say you should have a chat. He's a nice guy. I'm going to write, this is how he fixes that problem. I think you should meet with him. Let me sort that out for you now. And if more people did that, what a difference it would make on our businesses.
You know, I have met many people about the way you describe the solving problems and getting the referrals done is different than other people. So thank you very much, Jamie. You talk about personal branding. You talk about a lot of other things today. What I have seen in the gaps, like people, they don't think in that way. Some of them do, but most of them don't. When I ask someone, okay, why you are using like an image of you 10 years back, because you are not your true self now. And you will see most of the people, they hate to share their true self, the current status. And that's not right, I would say, because I will die tomorrow. I don't know. I might die tomorrow. So why I should hide? People should reflect their true selves and get to the solving problems rather than creating more problems. So thank you, Jamie. My next question, can you discuss a major obstacles you have overcome and lessons you have learned to your professional approach?
I think I tried to do everything myself to begin with, and that was the limitation on me. So when I first started out, I needed a website. I couldn't necessarily afford. I'm going back to 2013 now. I learned how to build WordPress websites so that I could do it myself. My first year in business, I did all my bookkeeping. And then when I started getting busy, I realized, do you know what? I don't like the admin side of things. So think about all the things that you don't like doing and then find somebody else to do it. That's the biggest thing. I tried to do everything myself and I never really wanted to ask for help from anybody. And within Circle Networks, we have one of our brand values is Be More Buffalo. And people say to me, what does that mean? Buffalo are the only animals in the world that when a storm comes towards them, they turn to face it. As the storm comes, cows try and run away from it. And by running away from the storm, they end up underneath it for longer because it catches up. And as they're running away, the storm's over the top and it's more painful and lasts longer. Whereas buffalo, when the storm gets near, they charge through it. They get through it really quickly. And they do it together. Old, young, sick, healthy, the whole herd goes through it together. So I encourage people to be more buffalo. So what's the stuff that maybe you're putting off that you need some help with that you just need to get over with? It could be a phone call. I bought a prop the other day. So I was walking past a charity shop and they had this old phone and I was like, we just need to get more comfortable with making phone calls, whether it's good or bad. So just what's the stuff that you just need to do and be more buffalo with? And I think that's one of the biggest things for me. The things that are procrastinated over, that are put off for too long, they're never as bad as you think. If you don't know how to do it, ask for help from somebody. There are a lot of people out there that are willing to help. And if you've got that helpful philosophy for other people, they will help you back. You might have to pay some people for some of this stuff, but getting it off your back, it just lifts that weight off our shoulders. And we don't realize how much effect that has on us. The other bit that I never wanted help. So by getting help and finding help, it speeds things up. It frees me up to do the stuff that I'm good at. The other bit that I never wanted really was any coaching. People talked about having a coach. And I was like, well, I can Google it. I can do it myself. And when I went through work, and I've got a coach currently. I've worked with a number of coaches over the years. I end up a better version of me at the end of it. Now, every coach is different. I'm not saying every coach is perfect. You've got to find the right ones. But one thing in particular for me that made a big difference was I became an NLP coach in timeline, master practitioner in timeline therapy. I went through that process myself as part of the training. So somebody else did that to me. And I realized that I'd been going along with the handbrake on. And as a result of that, I doubled my business within the next 3 months. So going through that process to let all the emotional baggage that I had, a lifetime of stuff, when I let that go, it made me a better person. And life became better and business became better as a result of it. So I never wanted anybody's help. I always wanted to do it myself. I never wanted a coach when so all the things that I've resisted have been the things that I really needed. So now when I resist things, I think, oh, this must be what I need. And I lean into it rather than trying to avoid it.
It's a great explanation, Jamie. I think the viewers today, they will love to watch it again because, the things you just described, we wanted to be jack of all trades. Yes, sometimes if it's the limited resources, money and all other things, you can try to be jack of all trades, but jack of all trades will not give you the certain development you're looking for in terms of businesses. I was jack of all trade when I started my business, but later what I discovered when I went through with mentorships and specific training, it gave me better understanding and better coverage. So the things that I'm learning, like DIY, if someone like you or like other expert, they guide me through, I can do it very quick. Not like spending, new work, like 10 days, I can do it 1 day. And people, they don't resonate with that. So thank you very much. I'm just going to jump into my next question to you. How do you measure your success of your work, both for your business and for client you serve?
I am a numbers person. So in various jobs that I've had in my career, I've always known my numbers. And probably KPIs is the thing that I like. I don't like to be managed. So let me just get that out there to begin with. So I don't like to be managed. And that's why I think I've always worked my way to the top. Managing director in previous businesses and now running my own business. But you've got to be able to measure success. So I like KPIs. So that might be sales. It might be number of clients. It might be how many leads you're generating. Whatever it is, I think you've got to know the metrics in your business and not just have a goal where I want to do £1 million worth of sales this year. You've got to break that down into what does that mean each week. So if I wanted to do £1 million worth of sales, that's £83,300 a month. Okay, well, break that down. That's just over £20,000 a week. That's £5,000 a day. Well, that becomes much easier. All right, how many customers do I need to do that? So you've got to be able to I like the numbers side of things. And I think you've got to know what you need to do today, what you need to do this week, this month, this year. But then how does that fit into 5 years' time? And you need a crazy big goal. I think sometimes we set ourselves, let's say, a typical figure that I hear people, I'd like to earn £5,000 a month. Okay. And then they get going and they don't measure it. And I'll say to people halfway through the month, what's your goal? £5,000. Okay. How much did you do last month? I don't know. Because they just give up when they miss it each month. So you need to know your numbers. What your numbers are will be different to mine, but you've got to know your numbers and track them. And the process of physically writing things down makes a huge difference to people. Not just having it on a spreadsheet somewhere on their computer. You need to know the numbers. And my last job, I had quite a big job, a lot of pressure, business that turned over about £75 million a year. I had to know my numbers. So we used to have a sales report that came out every 2 hours during the day from 7:30 a.m. until 9:30 p.m. And I used to track sales every 2 hours of the day compared to the same day 4 weeks ago and the same day last year. and we would track whether it was up or down. And my boss would expect me to know this. So I just knew it. 13 years ago, I left that job. It took me a while to get out of the habit of checking. My body clock tuned into every 2 hours, the sales report coming out. But it taught me a lot. You've got to know your numbers. And I think when we run our own business, there's no one coming to help us. We're not going to win the lottery. If it's going to be, it's up to me. And we need to know what we need to do. Are we on track? Do I need to work a bit harder? Do I need to work a bit later? I'm not one for the hustle culture, but there are times where we need to work hard in order to achieve our goals. And it might mean short-term sacrifices in order to hit the numbers that you want to hit. But unless you're tracking them, how are you going to know how you're doing? So know your numbers is key.
It's extraordinary, Jamie. Thank you very much. Because, when you talk to someone, I have seen that I also had these characteristics when I started 25 years back, like not understanding the numbers. Still, I don't understand numbers because I'm very weak in reasoning mathematics, but my brain works with critical mathematics, with equation and all other things. But I have to learn it, because if I don't learn that tactics, KPI, ROI, we can't get out there, because we do need to think our numbers, not in our head, pen and paper, and as well as implementing them every week, every day, every month. So thank you for adding this core knowledge to the network. My next question, can you share a story of a particularly rewarding project or client success that highlights your impact?
So just over 2 years ago, a now friend of mine, Paul McGowan, was introduced to Circle Networks. So it was January 2023, and he just quit membership in another network and was ready to quit networking forever. One of our members, Jimmy, introduced him to Circle Networks and said, why don't you just come along and try this? It might work for you. They didn't know each other that well. They'd been in the same network together, only ever had one meeting, one-to-one, and never passed each other any introductions. And so Jimmy introduced Paul, he came along. I met him, he liked it, joined straight away. He thought, I like these people. Friendship-based networking. The network that he came from forced people to do things. So he had to pass referrals. He had to turn up every week, but he didn't really get anything back from it. So he'd been in business a long time, 27 years. He was old. So he'd been running his own business for a long time. Came along, tried Circle Networks, liked it, got involved, signed up to do a training course with me to learn how to network. And just before Christmas, so what's that, 5 months ago, he sent me a WhatsApp and said, how long have I been in Circle Networks? So I told him. I thought he was going to cancel, even though he was doing very well. And he came back with, I've made over £100,000 worth of profit thanks to Circle Networks. Now, what's really interesting is, in his first 6 months in Circle Networks, he didn't get any business from it. Now, looking back, everyone thinks, well, he's done so well from it. But how many people would have quit during the first 6 months? Because we're looking for a quick fix. We're looking for that next magic pill. And what he was doing was he was building relationships and building trust and establishing credibility, helping other people, investing in them. And then it paid dividends for him. And he's not far off having tripled his monthly turnover from when he started 2 years ago. He's probably the best success story. And I like that because it's a good story and I like retelling that. But equally, I've just come back from Dubai, and one of the guys that came out with me signed up his biggest client for his business. He's only just over 18 months in that business, and he's just signed his biggest client. So that came from being involved in Circle Networks and just building relationships. And I think when you come across as credible and you demonstrate your expertise, which we give people a platform to do that within our community, then people start approaching you rather than you having to approach them. And I see that time and time again. People, I like you. I've heard good things about you. I see that you're good at what you do. Can you do that for me now? That's what seems to happen more and more in our network.
Thank you, Jamie. It was a great conversation today. I enjoyed it every minute. And I think I will bring you more to my conversation at the Innovator Circle podcast. And thank you, everyone, for joining today's Innovator Circle podcast. We hope today's conversation with Jamie Stewart, CEO of Circle Networks, has sparked fresh ideas and provided valuable insights to elevate your business strategies, networking, and a lot more. Don't forget to subscribe to our newsletters on ICPcast.com. Share this episode with your friends and leave us a review. It helps us reach and inspire more leaders like Jamie, like our LinkedIn page, and subscribe to our YouTube channels, Sales Funnel Accelerator, and behind the scenes and all other updates. Stay tuned. Until next time, stay inspired, stay curious, and keep leading the way of innovation and networking. Thank you, Jamie, and thank you, everyone. Bye-bye.
Thank you.